running on? I'm running on a platform of giving every American $1,000 a month. It's like people look up and be like, we can do that, and be like, yeah, Thomas Paine, Martin Luther King, Milton Friedman,
But when you say it,
in
I
one
don't think
state of Alaska.
It doesn't sound realistic. It's too good to be true. Where's the money coming from? Like, what's the number again? What's the math? Give me the math. $1,000 a month. Everybody
$1,000 a month. Headline cost is about $3 trillion a year.
$3 trillion. Where's that come from?
Yeah, but then you look at it. Our current spending on income support programs is about $1.5 trillion. And so
that's welfare, income support. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and so it substitutes out, not entirely, but it reduces the headline cost from $3 trillion to $1.8 trillion. And then you have this $1.8 trillion. You get $800 billion from the value-added tax that falls most heavily on the Amazons and Googles and Facebooks
the big
of the
companies.
world. So then you're at $1 trillion. You get $400 billion from all the economic growth from putting $1,000 a month into our hands that we spend, and it circulates the economy. You end up generating a lot of new tax revenue.
That $4 billion will take time because it'll have to start.
Oh yeah, you probably have like
the government will have to front the cost.
Yeah, you front the cost for like a year, but the economic growth happens pretty quickly because the money goes right into the economy. And 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 57% can't afford an unexpected $500 bill. So the money's going to get spent. This money's like going to go right back into bills and car repairs.
Oh, they're going to waste it, Andrew. They're not going to know what to do with it. They're going to buy drugs. They're just going to run around here and be frivolous. Don't you know what you're doing? You're making America lazy again.
Well, the beautiful thing is it's our money. Like, we're the owners and shareholders of this country, and we need to make the economy work for us as fast as possible. Because, again, we're in a race we can't win. If we continue just to see ourselves as inputs into the giant capital efficiency machine, we lose on an historic level, and you can already see it. So to your question, Rosenberg, about my chances of winning, I'm on CNN's Town Hall next Sunday, or the 14th, at 8 p.m., right before Game of Thrones.
How many people are in that? Or is your own town hall?
Oh, that town hall is just me. It's just me and the people.
So you got
me
one.
and the people.
All right,
yes.
I'm going to give you a bit of advice right now. Big advice here. And I already have faith in you to do this. One of the town halls that I watched, I'll be honest, it was Elizabeth Warren's. I just felt that every question that was asked was simply a segue into giving a talking point. And it really made me miss Barack Obama, who was...
human being?
Say whatever you will. Yeah, you can love Barack Obama, you can not love Barack Obama, but his ability to hear the question that was being asked and deliver a thoughtful answer to that person is so important. And so I think that's a real opportunity. Obviously, you must be excited about it. CNN Town Hall on a Sunday night before Game of Thrones, 8 o'clock, an opportunity to really connect with people.
Yeah, man, I don't know any other way to operate except to listen to people and answer the question.
And not just say a random talking point that's sort of unrelated to the question that was asked.
Yeah.
Because that happens too often. And I think one thing that's been underestimated about Donald Trump, we've talked about this a lot, Shani and I have really spoken about this, is Donald Trump's ability to, even though we may hate the things he's saying, engage people. And for as irregular a person as he is, and I mean that in so many ways, whether
You mean
it's
like his waistline, his hand size, his hairstyle... Is that what you mean by irregular?
Skin color,
all the things are irregular.
No, I actually didn't mean any of those. But I'm glad you mentioned them, though. But what I meant is even the fact that he was born rich, is the tycoon that he's sort of, a lot of his Midwest constituents seemingly hate. Even though he is that, he has an ability to connect to people because he extemporaneously talks. He may only have a vocabulary of like 112 words. I'm pretty sure my dog knows more commands than Donald Trump has vocabulary. But he is still able to use that limited vocabulary to talk easily and off the top of his head. And I think it's really critical that we have candidates who are able to talk ad nauseum and hopefully make sense. And then when it comes down, if you make it that far along, be able to compete with a bully who can use his words in ways that are tough.
Well, I hope I come across as a pretty normal human being everywhere I go. Like in this interview, like I hope you don't feel like I'm just segueing into some.
No.
I think you, and I say this with all due respect, by all due respect, I really mean, as Rosenberg often says, really respectful. Most of the time when people say due respect, they're about to disrespect.
Really
disrespect you, yeah.
But it's in America. It feels like individuals like yourself are so. Intellectually above the average voter who's running around out here, who I feel like halfway pays attention, and I haven't even got to like Donald Trump's fans, right? I feel like
You're talking about the average person.
I'm talking about the average person who is trying to wrap their brains around the math. How does the math work? And that's how we all get duped, is because we don't understand the math. We don't understand how these things work. And we're entrusting in an individual like yourself to go out and get it done. Me, I like when my president is saying things that are like beyond my comprehension and I have to go do research. Most people are turned off by the amount of intellect that you're sharing right now. They're like, I can't even keep up with this guy. And they're probably turning off the radio.
Because they listen the whole way. You guys are still with us.
No, and that's why I'm bringing it up to you is because I love what you're talking about. You get to ask the room when
No, he's been hyping you up for
I've
weeks.
been like, yo, his hat say math. Yo, I just want to talk to him about numbers. Most people aren't. That doesn't. I hate that I feel smarter than my president.
We even joke like the whole like, can I have a beer with him? Which I think is the most ridiculous thing. Like, why are we focusing
I
on
don't want to
that?
have a beer with the president. I want the president to do his job. I don't want to have a burger. I don't care if he eats corn dogs. I don't care.
Well, you do. You do.
No, I don't. I really don't.
I would like to have a hamburger with Bill Clinton. But
remember how you screamed at me? Barack Obama was in the White House. Me and him got into an argument. He was like, "Why come we're not going to the White House?" A lot of people go. I was like, "I don't want to go to my White House to meet Barack Obama. I don't. I didn't. I want to just do the job, man. Like, come on, man. Let's go."
You know, one of the things I've suggested is that when I'm president, I will appoint either Oprah or The Rock to be the head of the culture, and then they will congratulate the sports teams and pardon the turkeys and do all the things that presidents do on that level.
That's great talk, right there.
Because like you said, it's like my job's to try and get
Fix
people.
problems.
Like you should be too busy then to hang out with a turkey on November 23rd. Like you should be busy.
And our presidency has morphed into this weird conglomeration of jobs, which and it didn't used to be that way. Like what happens is like a president decides to do something, and then the next president has to do whatever the last president did, and just keeps on like stacking. So that's to your point. It's like I think the sports team would rather meet Oprah than me anyway.
I can say that with affirmatively that yes, that is true.
Yeah. So see, I'm just trying to add value.
All due respect. On you say here.